Hello, hello! Today we are going to do 15 super fast watercolor Christmas cards that you can get done right now today in a hurry. We're going to be using these Etcher postcards. You don't have to use these. You can use any watercolor paper you have and just put it on top of a card, or you could use watercolor cards. That's up to you. I'll be using my core paints because they are still out from yesterday's collaboration video and I love them. You'll need some masking tape, some water, a brush, and what else? Yourself. If you have any star-shaped cookie cutters, that might help as well. I also have a selection of Sharpies, and really I just wanted the green one. But you can use any color you want. You can even just use a black pen or anything like that. So those are all the supplies you'll need. Let's get started. I'm so excited for this. Now I've left this one untaped so you can see how I did this, because I think it's kind of important that you know. Alright, now this little idea here I got from Ella Aquarella. So check out her channel. I'll link it in the description box below. Anyway, I saw her video on this little tree and it was so cute and easy that I asked her for permission to share it with you guys, and she said, yep, as long as I tell them where it came from. I'll probably do my own take on it, of course, we all do. So with this, I just have my postcard down, and I'm going to put my ruler here so I can find the center point and mark that. And that's really optional. You don't actually need to mark that center point, but if you want your tree to kind of be centered, then that would be a good idea. And then just some masking tape that I've kind of detaped a little bit, and I will line that up about in the center there. And then you just have to decide how skinny or wide you want your Christmas tree to be, because that's what this is going to be. Stick that tape there, and then you can measure up from here if you want to be really exact, but if you're trying to be fast, then just kind of eyeball it. Looks like it's about 1.25 inches up or so, and it's probably not going to be perfect, but that's alright. And yeah, I'm just using my regular masking tape as usual. There we go. Now we have these all ready. I'm going to grab my Winsor & Newton Cotman size 10 brush. Use it for everything. So now all you do is pick which color you want to start with. These are my Mount Sopris colors right now. Since they're already in there, maybe I'll start with the blue one. And phthalo blue is just a really pretty color. So get some phthalo blue out on your palette here, and you just take them in stripes like so. Now you probably want slight variation in your color, so add a little more water. You could even bring in a slightly different color, cerulean blue in this case. Got a little bit of my yellow into it, that's just fine. Let's do a little ultramarine. You can do this with all just one color if you want and just use more and less water. I just happen to have them all out here. So that line went crooked, but that's okay. Let's see. And I don't want to go too overboard, so I'm going to leave that one about there. Oh, I'm so tempted to do one across the bottom. I think I will. Kind of, sort of. Okay, I'll leave that. Alright, and that's all you do. And for the next ones, I'm just going to pick different colors. You could do them all in the blues if you wanted to, but I'm going to pick different colors just to be able to use some of my other colors and, you know, show you guys something new. Okay, we're going to let those dry while we go on to the next one. So this one is kind of a fun idea, and I mentioned that you might need a cookie cutter. Now these aren't exactly the right kind of cookie cutters, but they are the only cookie cutters I own. I have this set of stars, and I have a set of Christmas trees just like this that kind of sit inside of each other. And if you have the cookie cutter that is completely open, that doesn't have this basically lid and handle on the top, that will work much better. But the idea is that it's just a template for you to use. You can put this down on your card and use it to get a bunch of water in the shape of the star, so that you're not tracing a star or drawing a star, and you also don't have any pencil outlines, which I think would be kind of cool. So luckily this star here has a big enough opening that I can still get in there to the edges and use that. And then you will take your color, Phthalo Blue again. Oh wow, that's so pretty. And you just dot it in. Now I'm using Core paints, so they're going to spread wild and crazy, which is really cool. So if you don't like that effect, like you could pull out from the middle, which is really pretty, and so on. So this one didn't get quite to the edge, probably would eventually. And there's a star. If you wanted to add in other colors to that, you certainly could. You could try some smaller ones here. Just have to make sure it can still get inside of them with the water. Yeah, that's just fine. It's a little tricky, but not bad. But any kind of stencil would work. Cutting your own star out of some paper would work. So just do what you can. I like the blue again, but let's try a few different blues. Oh boy, that's pretty. Okay, so you can't really see the edge of the star there. So that is a case where I would go in with my brush and go ahead and pull the color out to the edges so that it's crystal clear that this is a star. Okay, and then I would repeat that. I'm going to let that one dry, and then I'll repeat a star or 2 or 3 on that as well. You can do that with these as well. What you're going to do is take your green Sharpie. If you have a darker green, that would actually work better. But remember, I said you could also use your black pen or any kind of thing. You could actually even just use green watercolor, dark green watercolor. I'm going to use Sharpie because it's going to dry quickly. So what I'm doing is taking a line like that. My Sharpie's a little dried out. And then kind of doing another line, wiggling over the top of it. Do the same thing this direction and this direction. And they don't actually have to be touching. You could have spaced these apart a bit. Then take your handy dandy paint, and I want a bright red for this. I'm going to use the cadmium red medium. Here we go. The tricky part. So you're going to want to put a little bulb in. So press hard on that side, and then a thinner line on that side. And there's a reason for that thinner line. So we'll do one there. And I didn't space out my lines quite right to make these really all look the same size, but that is just fine. So you might think about your line spacing better than I did. You might want to, while that is wet, take your yellow and add in that little glow. And this one kind of got lost. So let's grab a paper towel. Perfect. And if you want that glow around the outside, you would take a little yellow around the outside edge of these as well. And doing that while it's wet is great because it'll bleed. So that is your red one. You want a green one. Now, they can all use some blue spatters, in my opinion. Alright, one thing these stars need, in my opinion, are borders. Now, this Christmas card set, I'm just warning you, this is only if you have like a moment to do this, because they're not great, they're not perfect, but if you really want to send out a homemade card, then this is a fast way to do it, and it's not going to take you a lot of time, energy, or effort. If you want to do more complex cards, then there's a couple of videos that I did last year that you should definitely check out. Now for the final piece, I'm going to take the tape off of all of them and be right back with you to show you how to finish them up exactly. And I thought you might want to see one of them. I'm being careful, but not like super careful. This tape's coming off really easily. And there's your cute little tree. So right now it looks unfinished because it is. There's one simple step we have to do to finish all of these cards up. So stay tuned. Now the last step of finishing up these super quick Christmas cards is to put on the greeting. What I've done is I've gone to Microsoft Word, but you can use any word editing program. I've chosen several different fonts. I have my light board here. I'm not a letterer. If you guys are good at lettering, then just write your greeting there, and then you don't have to worry about this step. I am not good with lettering, so I am going to use this method. So let me test my color. So that's too light. Perfect. Okay. Then you put your card behind it. You find the one you like. I like this one. Attempt to make it straight, and then you just trace over it. It's still a little bit bright in here for me to see this well, so I will shut off some more lights, close windows, and I will get back to you when this is all traced out. Much better than me trying to letter it myself. Now if you want, you could add a little star up here. That might bring this blue up. I'm going to go ahead and do that, even though that terrifies me, just to see what it looks like. Yeah, I like it. Thought we'd decorate this one like a snowflake just for fun. There, very pretty. Okay, here they all are. Uh-oh, you want them off screen. I love this one. So if I was doing this where I had more time and I could be really serious, I would probably just duplicate the winter painting that I did last year. I think it was last year. I'll link that up in the corner for you and in the description box below. But yeah, I would probably duplicate that one. It would definitely showcase, doing a winter scene like that one I was just talking about would definitely showcase your watercolor skills more than anything that we did today. So all in all, even with camera time, messing around time, camera falling off, all of that jazz, getting set up for this video, this whole process was still less than an hour. The longest time that this one took was tracing the words. So these are my favorites here, okay? These light bulbs, I don't like any of them. Well, that's not true. There's one in here that turned out okay. Yeah, that one just needs to go in the trash, but this one from a distance actually looks okay. And that one's kind of cute and simple. So anyway, tracing took the longest time. I actually like the purple one too. So if I were doing this, if you guys want to have something that probably looks really good, do this star with the snowflake paint and painting in a gold snowflake after the fact. I really like this one. It's really cool. And all of these trees look awesome. So those would be the ones to choose. I just don't think these lights look good at all. Probably still send them out, but maybe not. Maybe not. But hey, this is Vlogmas. We don't have time to redo a bunch of stuff, and I like to be open and honest with you. This didn't work out. So there you have it. These are okay. Not that one. These are okay. Alright, thank you for joining me today. I hope you found this interesting and that you at least got an idea from it. And happy Vlogmas. We'll see you tomorrow. If you have any cookie cutters, almost couldn't remember the name of these. Now the last step of this super quick card is putting on... Now the last step of finishing up these super quick cards is putting